So does the life have started or just am I just disillusioned nigger? Let me just check. See that. So literally show me if I'm live or not. I'm live. It's perfect. Yeah. I'm fucking live, nigga. Uh, well, let's cover the topics of the psychology where we need to understand what are the basics of psychology and we need to get into the depthness of psychology. But this is just a trial. So we're gonna just move on to it further. This is just a trial. I'm trying to literally look if I can do this psychological things when I'm live streaming. So this is John Zorg, and he's one of the most influenced person on my life, which I've been trying to get into more of type of the spirituality and psychology because I cannot completely trust into the spirituality itself. I cannot completely solely focus on the Bible, but I need some evidence. I need some. I'm the Thomas Leha kind of thing. So I need the evidence and the spiritual root of depthness. So he's someone who actually introduced me to the esoteric knowledge, the esoteric wisdom. He's a literally nice guy. He literally a great person. He even though we may think like he's a lot more blasphemous, but he have that content. He have that big size inch 6 inch dick inside his underwear. And esoteric, he's a Jewish, of course, and at first I was thinking like he's a fucking Jew and he cannot talk on God. He cannot talk on Jesus, but to be honest, he's one of the most truthful, honest, straight as an arrow kind of person. He, I don't think he would explain the information, putting the religious things at back and only truth, what he have learned, what he have understood, what he have read is what it projects out. Gaming എല്ലാം ഇങ്ങനെ കൊണ്ടുവരണമൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്, but I'm not pretty sure. I don't think it's gonna happen so soon, but I will definitely make it happen. So let's actually get into the John Circle, or this one, right? Stimulus. I don't want to get. I don't want to know that what the fuck stimulus is, but let's get into the theoretical things. Like I was like,
Why
bro,
frequencies get you inspired? What makes people move to make money? Why am I
you have
lazy about starting a
you literally have that understanding. When you have that understanding of this world, in the esoteric sense, you will literally see this world in an outside perspective. Otherwise, there will be a person who would be working 9 to 5 and always getting to work, getting back to work, and going to home and treating children like kuchi, and having sex with your wife. That is what happens every year of your life. But uh, you are living in a generation where it is excessive. These kinds of things are like having a family and taking care of your children, your wife, everything is so excess. Like you could see this thing everywhere. But I'm saying this is the right generation where we can actually get out of that matrix. You could see this world in a much more wide view. You know what I mean? That would be so interesting because this is the exact moment you need to think ahead of normal people. Without that, you will remain as a stupid person because we are turning into a stupid people because the usage of phone, internet, and the social media is actually turning us down into the worst life ever possible. And according to studies, we have seen recently that we are the first generation to be retarded as shit. Why? Because we don't want to move on. We just want to stay here. We just want to stick around the comfort. We actually, this modern generation, the modern world is actually currently living for the comfort. We don't actually focus on the purpose of the life. We don't actually focus on what the life is supposed to mean, or we are just taking out all the responsibilities that we need to have in our life and focusing on comfort. That is what we all need. When you choose a car, when you choose a bike, you need something that gives you good mileage, power, and comfort. So you will choose Yamaha V3 because it have the power, it have the mileage, and it gives you, it's not that comfortable, but it gives you at least a kind of a comfort, at least to satisfy your mind. I'm comfortable. And you could sit in the V3 and just ride for hours and hours and hours and say that I'm a rider.
Up a channel.
It's always the vision of your future. You fantasize about your future, and I'll go in depth. You fantasize about your future in depth, right? And here, let me just put this here. I'm just tired of looking. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Yeah, here we go. When you are fantasizing about your future, the problem, the reason you're not active and mobilized and doing stuff is because it's in the future, in your 2D images, the stream of images in your brain that you can't see, but I swear you felt it. You swear you felt it, right? You're in this 3D world. Your mind is shooting these 2D images of the future. It's not going to mobilize you because it's in the future. All you have to do is the meditative attention awareness.
So what I understood from the timeline is most people would come and say that don't stay on the past, don't stay on the future, think about the future, but stay in the present moment. But for me, what I would say is you must never focus on the past. But there is when you draw a line, there's a past, present, and future. But you need to remain in between the present and future. Now you cut down, just take down that past, present segment. What remains is the present, future line. So you must need to be at least here. So you think about the present moment, and also you have a slightest of the understanding of what the future is about to be. When that comes in, you'll be a highly conscious. So you will have a clear impact or a clear visual on how your life is about to be or how your life would be, and you will know the certain things that you are supposed to do, you're supposed to act, supposed to speak. You'll have a certain understanding of how you can lead your life into a particular destination. The destination may differ, the destination may suffer, but you will have a decision-making mind to keep on living. That is the core of masculinity. The masculinity is something where you can actually make decisions, exploding this, like exploding way, explosively. You can take the decision. So masculinity are the actions and the femininity are the thoughts. And I'll just come into that. So the concept of what you need to understand is the concept of masculinity and the femininity, both important aspect, and how you need to mix these things to have a higher conscious life, or you would have a life which you know what is about to happen. I'll come to that so. Okay.
Activity that's been for thousands of years been studied, untrained, and it's very difficult to do when you are used to iPhones and stuff. It's very easy when you're just out the birth as tabula rasa, right? Bring the
I need to. He said what he said was tabula rasa. and I must know what that literally means. What is, let's go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT എടുക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എന്തിനാണ് ChatGPT പോണത് കോ പൈലറ്റ് ഈസ് ഇയർ ലിറ്ററലി ലുക്ക് അറ്റ് കോ പൈലറ്റ് No, brother. This is my name, Avian Francis, but call me Slash because that is my alter ego character that I have named to myself. So even if you call me Evan or even if you call me Slash, I don't give a shit. But call me fucking Slash. John Locke introduced John Locke. It's John Locke. He's a wonder person. That's it. Concept says that if human beings are born without building knowledge, and that only comes from experience and learning, the poet writes lives of people. I don't think so. So what about the DNA? What about the information that has been inherited from the previous generation to this current generation? Oh, cool. No, it wasn't. So what about the so this is what I wanted to know. To know the Buller's idea comes from John Logan. So what I can imagine it. In some way, Tabularas is right. That's what I want to say, but I think 90% of it is tabula rasa and 10% of it is our inherited knowledge. That is why the Surya from the circus is actually being the Bodhidharma. As his ancestor, he gets the energy transformed through the modern technology and sciences, and he becomes the modern Bodhidharma. So it cannot be done by just the concept of the tabula rasa because it's a blank slate. You cannot become a Bodhidharma and write Bodhidharma features, but it needs to be transferred from genetics from the ancestors.
The focus into the now. If you can see your future self, if you can visualize, if you have techniques to visualize of your future life in the now, or you heard someone out there say something that's from the future, but it's in the now, immediately immediately you want to move, walk, work out, do something, and you go, how long is this going to last? As long as you put that tension on it. This is what
I don't think this
in
is
the
walking,
ancient
bro.
temple.
Actually, I need to write myself down. I need to prepare myself before getting into the live stream because when I am doing the live stream, I didn't think about much. I just thought of, let me do this trial. Let me start doing this. And let's see how it goes. And I realized it is going as a failure. So all I need is a preparation. I need to prepare myself for what I'm about to speak, what I'm about to do before going live stream. This would be also posted as a video, so no more tears. Do we need to go to monkey? Let's try. It must work. It must work. What the fuck happened? What is happening, Monica? The camera. Please start. Heroin. Heroin. I need to start the heroin. Okay. Heroin webcam start ചെയ്യാനും പറ്റൂല. The reason is that it is gonna say അത് വേറൊരു സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ ക്യാമറ ഇതിനകത്ത് വർക്ക് ആവില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു വരും. നമ്മളിതൊക്കെ നോക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ് ബായ്. Yeah, then we actually get into the depthness of Marcus Aurelius, the king, the emperor who developed this stoicism. And we need to also get onto that. And what was this Japanese warrior name? He, Miyamoto Musashi. Yeah, we need to actually get onto him. Then we need to learn about the yin, yang, masculinity, the femininity. Then Rudolf Steiner, Schopenhauer, Plato, then Paracelsus, Spinoza, John Zerkop, Better Call George. And we need to get on to different types of people. There are a lot of things we need to actually cover up. Oh, yeah. Then, who's another one? Then one more thing. Albert Pike, Freemasonry, Bible. There are a lot of things that we actually need to convey and cover up. And I hope I will learn a lot more through this live streaming, and you guys will also learn a lot more through the live streaming. And some may feel this is all a blasphemous thing, but suck my dick. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share. What is supposed to happen must happen. Even if you take it or if you don't take it, I'll gain what I work for. I gain what I gain. I gain what I work for. I earn for my work that I have. I put to myself and to you guys. Terry going to gaming. The only game that I play currently is Hogwarts Legacy. If you have time, you must definitely watch John Surka videos because these videos are actually really interesting. Because it actually talks about how you can actually take a woman and you can actually woman would be thinking like, oh my god,
Where are you from originally?
I was born.
I'm gonna attract him so soon, and he will be my slave so soon. But John Surka, it's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. He never hesitates to treat a woman like a slave because what we need to have the concept is so man when looking onto woman, man must have the heart and woman be submissive. Bro, this is going to be a controversial of it, but I'm not pretty sure people will watch these things, but I tell you straight as a point, straight as an arrow, man must be dominant and woman must be submissive. And that is how the balance of yin and yang must be. So a man must be dominant and woman must be submissive. Yeah, that's true. That what I'm saying is true. That is how everything must need to be balanced. Everything what you look for when you eat. You could see that when you eat too much salty food, you'll be you'll be dehydrated, and when you eat a lot of sugary foods, you will have that. Uh, but what you need to do is you need to balance things. But so when you have a lot of sugary food, when you eat something that is salty, it's gonna balance your new like what's say the taste buds, and you won't go into the extreme polarity of things and fuck up. See, so you remain like this. And that is what the yin and yang is. That is what Jesus talks about the balancing of your life. When did the Jesus talks about the balancing of your life? Is when you take the actions and also you balance well with your emotions and the thoughts, then that is what the Rudolf Steiner actually explained. This is actually getting over the higher levels. This is what Jesus talks about. This is what Rudolf Steiner talks about. This is what this and that and this and that talks about. Everything is connected. You cannot sustain your life without balance. So you need balance in your life. You can do drugs and you can do the workout. Then you will enjoy the life. If you always keep working out, you're gonna so soon. When you always keep doing the drugs, you know what are the consequences that you're about to face. So when you do drugs, as soon as you balance it with workout and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, you'll see your life is much more beautiful. You will see the butterflies, and you will see the flowers, and you will see everything that coming and popping up in front of your eyes, and while you are running. So when you are on the and when you are on the paper as well as when you are working out, it means your body is at the ecstatic moment. Your body is having the bulk of authenticity as you wanted to, you require. These are some blasphemous ideas that I'm telling you. These are some blasphemous concepts that I'm speaking to you so that you'll understand what life is. You'll understand what life is something which is something we are supposed to balance it. So everything is a balance. So what does that mean in a relationship too, brother? What does it mean in a relationship? So even in a relationship, you need to have that balance. And man needs to be the figure who takes the actions, and woman needs to be the figure who can actually nourish the family. So and in the case of revenge, when we talk about the case of revenge, you will see that in when a man needs to take the revenge, what he sees is violence, blood, physical attack, and all this type of shit. So that is what the men's do, like fuck the shit out of us. But when it comes into the woman, she won't do violence. She won't do play like in a physical attack. What she do is all the mental play. So men, the actions and women. So men play through actions and women play through thoughts, mental and physical. So masculinity is the action and femininity are the thoughts. Which definitely means masculinity need to be dominant and femininity need to be submissive. That is how you well balance the relationship. And I'm just 24 years of life in this world, and I have understood it much better than most of the people around. I used to remain as a stupid fuck. Don't know what the fuck you want to do. Used to remain like this, so submissive, so weak, and when you don't say something to you, be like, ah, you're true, baby. Give me a kiss, and she'll hate you more. Just like that. It must be like, clean the floor. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh man, then another one important thing about the psychology, when you step into psychology, the one important thing is about the Carl Jung. He's one of the most influenced psychoanalysts for me. Was the way that he influenced about the mental thoughts, the unconscious. He have actually gone a lot deeper into the unconscious side of an individual. So that is what we need the most. When we dwell into the world of unconscious world, it's an it's another dimension. It's so hard for you. It's most of the people. It's so hard for them to comprehend and understand what he literally means, unless you have that deep intuitive insight. Only then you will understand what he literally means. And most of the people don't have that. That is why he literally have to hide his books, because they thought that people gonna call him blasphemous and things this and that. So he didn't publish his books. But later it was published after his death, and it was called the Red Book, Liber something kind of name. That's it. So most people can't actually understand what the unconscious side withhold. Mostly when most spiritual people comes into this world, people call them blasphemous people. They know that what it's saying is kind of right, but they can't completely accept it because they don't have enough proof to believe. So he is someone who actually made a proof with scientific reasoning, which is interesting. Kayun. Bye bye. I think we can stop right here. This is something of we need, and we'll get back so soon. And I need to actually develop a lot more understanding, and I need to actually bring more wisdom. I need to prepare and plan before I'm speaking. That is what important. Then I will get into gaming. We will get into topics that we need to convey. Talks, transform the wisdom, and transfer the wisdom. Everything is gonna happen so soon. So stay in touch, my niggas.